Hello, friends and fellow flute enthusiasts, and thanks so much for tuning in. Today, I wanted to share some information about our Horizons Flute School, in particularly our membership option called Horizons Plus. This is a growing option for many flute players, and so today I wanted to cover four distinct things about our membership. I want to talk about our features. We get lots of questions about what's included, how do you do those things, what is it, that sort of thing. So I wanted to share that, as well as perks. These are things that also include Horizons Flute Store in this as well. And we're also adding some perks this year to our membership for those who are currently members and those who are wishing to join us in 2025. Speaking of 2025, I also want to talk about our direction and what we have in store for our year next year and how we're going to be learning, what we're going to be learning, and all the fun we're going to have. Also, I want to share with you why now is the best time, one of the best times to join us. And so we're going to be talking about that as well. So I've prepared a visual aid for us. I've got a slide deck prepared for us. And so this will help you discern, is Horizons Plus a good fit for me and what I want out of my flute journey? And so we'll dive right in. Let me get this set up and we are ready to go. Of course, we're talking about Horizons Plus, our membership option of our flute school. We do offer courses that you can purchase and many courses outside of the membership, but the most and best value that you're going to get is going to be inside the membership, and we're going to cover all those things today. So again, I wanted to cover our features, our perks, our direction for 2025, and why is now the best time to join us. And Horizons Plus is a gateway for enhancing your musical skills while connecting with a passionate community of flute players. We are very, very community driven, and so we invite so many to come to the table and to share. And you'll see that in how we have set up Horizons Plus to be so community driven. I want to take a moment just to introduce myself if you're not familiar with me and what I do and how I do it. My name's Johnny, and I'm the guy crazy enough to think that I could change the world with the flute. And I believe you can too. When I started Horizons Flute School, at first it was a way for me to kind of spread my knowledge a little faster, a little easier with students, because I found that I was teaching the same thing over and over. And so my biggest impact would be when I can teach one to many. And that's how courses and workshops kind of started. And it organically grew into this way of how not only can I go to the community, but how can the community also come together? And again, being very community driven, this is really a secret sauce that is inside of our community, is engaging with one another, learning from one another, and it's just a really beautiful thing. I've enjoyed this process so much. So let's dig in and look at specifics of Horizons Plus. We're going to talk about right now the features. These are kind of think of these as like the core pieces of the membership. We've got coursework, lesson modules, workshops, flute circles, Q&A sessions, compass guides, open mics and collaborations, resource library, and there's a lot more. And I want to cover these things in detail, but I also want to be concise because I want you to get the information you need to make the best decision. So we're going to start off with courses, main and mini courses. The biggest difference between the main courses and the mini courses is the size. Main courses are typically longer in length. These can exceed 1 hour in length, while the mini courses tend to be under an hour. Most of the courses, main courses, mini courses, lesson modules, a lot of the things that and how I teach is I love to provide additional resources. And this is really beneficial for when you are learning offline. You've got that printable thing that you can hold in your hand, whether it's a scale, an exercise, a prompt, or directions for some sort of thing. You have that available to you. without being online. So in the membership, you're going to get access to all the main and mini courses. Like I mentioned before, we sell these through our Flute School and our Flute Store, but as a member, you're going to get access to all of them. And the other thing is, you in the courses, it's going to track your progress. So if you get distracted or busy, or you end up not logging in for a week, the platform's going to know where you left off, and you're going to be able to come right back in where you left off. You can also, with any of the video content, any of the courses that you have access to, or playbacks, and we'll talk about what playbacks are, with any of those, you can always revisit them. So if you're brushing through something and you're like, I saw this in a course somewhere, you can always revisit. It's not like a one and done. You've watched it, now you lose access. You keep access to everything for as long as you're a member in good standing. Sarah had this to say, the courses are perfect for flute players like me. They're easy to follow, and I love that I get to learn on my own time and pick up where I left off. I hear that a lot from students, actually. So let's talk about what is a lesson module. A lesson module is something that when we launched membership was a way for me to share just a quick win, a quick little nugget of something. So if you and I were to sit down in a 30, 45, 60-minute session together, one-on-one, this would be something that we would work on together. And things have ranged from a variety of topics, from creating melodies to breath work and phrasing, to time signatures, to rhythm, to playing with backing tracks. There's lots of different things that we cover. And we're going to talk about how lesson modules are going to kind of pivot and support our direction for 2025. But these are launched monthly. And again, when you sign up, you get access to all the previous ones too. I'll talk more about that a little bit later, but lesson modules also include some of those resources, those little downloads, those PDFs, those guides, those things for you. And you can explore these at your own pace. So you can kind of move around, or you can really focus in on one specific topic. Learning music, this is from Music Institute of Chicago. Learning music as an adult enhances cognitive function by activating multiple brain areas, which strengthens memory and problem-solving skills. Music activates so much inside of our brain when we are listening, but when we are creating too. So not only is this a physical thing that we're doing, and I love that we're doing it for the flute specifically with our breath, but we're also activating our body. We're also activating our brain. We're activating our lungs. We're activating our spirit. There's so much connected into learning and playing this instrument that I enjoy so much, and hundreds and thousands of students do as well. Let's talk about workshops. Workshops are not just me teaching. This was a class, the photo on the screen that you see, this is a class that I gave recently at the World Flute Society convention in July in Wisconsin. It's a lot of fun to teach. There's a lot of energy in person. Most of what we do is online because we're able to connect to so many so easily and so quickly. But workshops are not me teaching. I will lead a few workshops throughout the year on the Horizons Flute School platform, but we bring in guest presenters, colleagues of mine who are masters at what they do. We invite them onto the platform to work with you. And so they present a topic, they give exercises, they give a path through and to certain things. And all of these workshops that we provide on Horizons Flute School are recorded, so you can visit them later, whether you attended live or you weren't able to make that one. There's a lot of content. Almost all of our content is recorded and then offered to you later, and it lives inside that dashboard. So it's a growing addition every single month that you get lots of learning materials, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But with workshops specifically, this is a wonderful way to diversify your learning, not just in the ways that we offer content through Horizons Plus, but who we offer content from. And so it's a wonderful way to learn from a lot of different instructors. We've had incredible, talented instructors: Christine Stevens, Cornell Kinderknecht, Joe Young, Rana Yellow Robe, Kalani Das. The list goes on and on of the wonderful, talented, beautiful instructors that we've had on our platform. And so when you sign up, you'll get to learn from them and what they've been able to provide over the years as well. Mark had this to say: Christine Stevens' workshop on rhythm was revolutionary. I've never felt so confident playing. That was a very, very fun workshop. Thank you again, Christine, for that. Q&A sessions. This is where more support comes in. I realize that if we just feed stuff to you, that questions naturally come up in your flute playing. And so we offer 2 Q&A sessions per month. Those are hosted by me. One is themed around a topic. The other one is open-ended, because we all end up with some sort of, my flute does this, or I'm having trouble with this, and it's just a very specific thing. But we meet as a group, and you can submit questions ahead of time, and that way I'm prepared to help you the best that I can. And then sometimes we don't have many questions submitted, but the conversations go really deep, and people are learning from each other. People are helping each other out, other members. And so it's a really, really incredible and powerful way to get the support that you need in your flute journey. Like Ben, questions I had for years were answered in minutes. These Q&As are gold. We have members show up for these, and they've got that one burning thing that has happened that they've been holding on to for a while, like Ben, and then it's like, oh, that's a simple solution here. Have you considered XYZ? Then we have our Compass Guides. Compass Guides are Horizons experts. So they are colleagues of mine also, who they provide much like a Q&A support. And in the past, we've done things based on level and interest. But in 2025, we are operating in these 5 fields. We are keeping the beginner one for those who are starting their flute journey and they need a little bit more support. They will have someone to work with on that. We'll also have spiritual flute playing. So this is much like a Q&A or support group for those who are doing spiritual work with their flute playing. The same for gear and tech. So there's lots of questions when it comes to microphones, recording, cords, adapters, gear, amps, all the different things you can think of when we start talking about gear and technology in order to record ourselves. And then music of service. So this would be anyone who is playing their music publicly for someone else or a group of people. So I think about hospice. I think of playing at assisted living facilities, trying to gig, getting out there and gigging, playing at church, wherever you're sharing your music for another person. That's music of service. You are being of service to someone else with your music. We're going to have a compass guide for that. And then flute maintenance, flute making, flute maintenance, questions about your flute. As you know, we tend to collect flutes, and with that comes little things about this flute, and this one does this kind of weird. How do I fix this? I've got this issue with my flute. So we've got support for that as well. This is from the Wilder Foundation. Music programs for adults often lead to improved well-being and a sense of belonging as participants engage in shared musical experience. This is so true. We've seen that relationships have formed through our Q&A sessions and our flute circles that we do, is that people tend to feel better and more confident in their music when they have other people to share it with. It becomes a common ground. Speaking of flute circles, I get this question a lot. How do you do a flute circle online? Well, we have 2 formats that we do this on or with, and they are this way. Our most common format is we all meet on Zoom. So you register for this event, and flute circles are themed around something, whether it's a scale we're learning, a technique, or something seasonally, like we might play a little more peppy in the spring, or we might decide, let's bring your lowest flutes and share those. So we try to theme each one so you have a little bit of direction. Our most common format is such. We all gather in a big Zoom room, and then I put people into pods or breakout rooms. So we'll have 4 people in a Zoom room for roughly 40 minutes, and that gives you a chance to play once or twice and to share a little bit. I've also heard in these breakout rooms that other students are helping other members and students with technique or things, and so it's a great opportunity again to learn and be in community. The other format that we have is what we call speed rounds, and speed rounds are 2 people in a breakout room for about 10 to 15 minutes, and those happen, it feels like those happen really quick. And so we'll hold space for about an hour and a half or 2 to do these rounds of playing. At the break of each one, if you need to leave, you can certainly leave. And whoever is left, we still continue to go into breakout rooms until we're done. And so this is a really powerful way to share or get information about things with your flute. Laura had this to say: the inspiration I get from hearing others' creativity, this is really good, and perspectives has truly elevated my own playing. Horizons is an incredible space to connect, share, and evolve together. Absolutely. Then there's the resource library. The resource library is where all my best tools live. Think of walking into a library of any kind and you have all these books at your fingertips. Well, the resource library in the membership is kind of exactly that. The guides, the PDFs, the things like that, even stuff that isn't inside courses, but I've given to students as exercises, you're going to find all that at your fingertips. It's all in one place for you to browse through, and you're like, I think I saw that in a course somewhere, but I don't remember which course it was. We've got everything organized into categories in our resource library. So if it's breathwork or phrasing, you can go there and find that thing. If it's about songwriting, if it's about improvising, whatever it's about, you can find that thing in the resource library. Musical Pursuits has this to say: learning an instrument improves social skills and builds personal discipline, which are crucial for personal development. I don't know about you, but I want to improve myself. I want to be better than I was yesterday. And not in an ego way, but in a way that if I can improve myself, I can help other people also. So again, it's that domino effect. It's that way that we can show up and be helpful for other people and make a positive impact in the world. So there's a couple other things as far as features: open mics and collaborations. Open mics are a time where they're a little bit different than flute circles. Flute circles, you're with a smaller group, and it's a little bit more casual. You know, you get to share with your friends, that kind of thing. Open mics, this is like you see that microphone in the spotlight, you're going to be in the spotlight. So come prepared. You know, show up well, play well, perform. This is your way of practicing a performance. Yes, in a Zoom room, but it's no different in a Zoom room than it is live on a stage. This is your opportunity to really show up, and this gives you an opportunity to practice that. Collaborations are a little different. We're starting to do more collaborations where we get students to submit different parts of music, and then we edit them all together and we collaborate this way. And so it's a really creative way that we get to showcase the talent of our students and our members. Tonic Music has this to say: being part of a music community can significantly enhance the learning experience by providing motivation, diverse perspectives, and a sense of belonging. If you're feeling stale in your flute journey, like you don't know what to play and you walk over to your flute rack and you just noodle the same thing, man, we can help with that. We've turned a lot of flute students around in a lot of different ways. Lastly, there's Firesides. Firesides are private concerts that I give quarterly. And this is an inside scoop to my unreleased music, things I'm working on, motifs and melodies, things that I'm working in. This is kind of a behind the scenes, a VIP pass, if you will, to stuff that I'm working on, that I'm evolving with. And I share openly all of these things with our members. Alex had this to say: getting to hear upcoming projects before anyone else is such a special experience. Thanks, Alex. It creates an incredible connection with Johnny and offers unique glimpse into the creative process that makes music even more meaningful. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that. So let's move on to perks. Now, we've gone through all the features, and there are more things, but man, that's quite a bit. Let's look at the perks, okay? In those firesides that I just shared with you, I give away a flute to a student during that, a flute from my personal collection. You're also going to get access to new product sales and members only discounts. And there's also a private members only community where you can ask questions and also share your progress with things. But new for 2025 are these 4 big ones on the screen that you see right now. And this is really cool. This is very exciting. We surveyed, like I said, we surveyed our members, and we do this regularly. Every 6 months or so, we're asking deep questions. What do you like to learn? How are you learning? All this stuff, and I'm going to share a little bit more with you on that. But new for 2025, members get discounts on one-on-one coaching sessions with me. So you're gonna reap the benefits of booking a session with me. You're going to get priority access to pre-owned flutes. Pre-owned flutes is a program that we started, the trade-in program, a couple years now maybe, and we've rehomed a lot of flutes this way. It's very popular, but we want to reward our members by offering flutes to them first. So if you're a member, you're going to have 48-hour early access to these flutes before we send them out in the newsletter and before they get scooped up. So it's a way that we can appreciate our students and offer them this additional perk. You're also going to get an annual credit of $100 to attend an in-person Horizons event, like our summit that we have every year here in Iowa, or a masterclass that I might pop up somewhere in the country. You're going to get to use that $100 annual credit for these in-person events that Horizons is responsible for hosting. Also, something new is these feedback and flourish sessions. I've been doing a lot of group workshops, group lessons. We've done a thing now, a couple of rounds of the Intentional Flute Players program. And this is a very deep program. But what I find is in all of the things that we have in Horizons, that you don't get feedback from me unless you book a session with me. And so we're going to start these feedback and flourish sessions. They're going to be small group, 8 people max per session, where you can submit your recording or you can play for me live, and you're going to get feedback from me and what you can do to improve. And yes, it will be in a group, but it's a small group. All of these, only the people in the session are members, are students. And so there will be a small fee attached to this, but this will not be available to the general public. So these are our perks. And again, more details are on the website for all of the things that I've talked about. Let's look at 2025. We've got a big year ahead of us, but I wanted to do something very special. And I wanted to give more direction in where we're going as a group, where we're going as a school, where we're going as flute players. And so we are doing the search for sound. And the search for sound is a deep exploration into scales. And I know we talk a lot about scales in music. And so often what I find is students pick up a scale, they play the notes, they forget the notes, and then they have to relearn it later, and they don't really understand what it is or why it functions this way. Well, each month in 2025, this is going to be our lesson module. I'm going to be providing you with a scale, yes, the notes for the scale, but so much more. I'm going to provide you the notes of the scale. I'm going to provide you exercises around some tricky things. I'm going to provide you tips for not only what you play with the scale, but how you play it. So that comes down to technique. That comes down to vibrato, volume, breath work, all the different things that you can do to really pull out that emotion inside of this particular scale. And we'll have perhaps some backing tracks and other resources that will help reinforce what you're doing with that scale. And so that'll be our lesson module for the month, will be based on a scale. One of our Q&As per month will be based on that same scale, and one of our flute circles per month will be based in that scale too. This provides you such a deep learning experience for each one of these scales because you get my perspective, you get the perspective of the other students, and it's just a really powerful way to learn deeply what these scales are. And as we go through this, you're going to realize how connected things are, how you can shift music, and you're going to be writing better songs, and you're going to be playing cooler things and more connected things because of the work that you're doing with these scales. That's our direction. Now, if this all sounds exciting for you, it's because it is. We put a lot of intention behind this. And so this is one of the best times to join us, is to kick off the year right and get in the membership and get locked in. So I'm going to share with you how you can unlock $471 in savings and bonuses when you join Horizons Plus today. We're only doing this campaign for a very short time. This will not live forever. Just like our founders rates. When we started this back in 2022, we had a founders rate, and what happened was we closed it and you couldn't get in at that rate anymore. This is very close to our original start. We're offering 40% off of our annual membership. This means that when you come into Horizons Plus, it's normally $528 a year. Now it's down to $317, and you get everything I talked about. You get the stuff that's already on the platform. There's a ton of stuff already waiting for you the moment that you join. And when you join at this annual rate, you get to lock in that rate. It's not something where we go, hey, for this year it's this much, but next year it's going to be the regular rate. We're not playing that game. You get to stay with this rate for as long as you stay a member with us. And if you're watching this and you're a student of Horizons right now and you're paying a higher monthly rate than what this works out to in a year, email us. We can convert you over to this annual rate. We want to make this affordable for you. I'm not sure where else you can go to get all this learning material that we're going to do in a year for this amount. And so this is, and it's right from your home. So you can tune in from your office, you can tune in from your phone, you can tune in from your living room, your kitchen. We've had some people make dinner while they're at a Q&A session. It's okay. You can tune in. It's convenient for you, and it doesn't interfere with your schedule. Now, the other thing that we're doing to up the ante is we have a gift box worth over $260 worth of really cool stuff. We have flash drives that are going to be full of really amazing things, and some other things, t-shirt, all of that's listed on the website. I don't want to go too far into detail with that, but you're eligible for this gift box. We just ask that you pay the shipping for that gift box, and it's got a lot of cool things inside of it. So this is only until the end of 2024 that we're doing this, and then the rates are going to go back to their normal. So we've talked about, I just want to recap what all is in the membership. We've got our features, which coursework, lesson modules, workshops, Q&A sessions, flute circles, compass guides, that resource library, open mics, collaborations, fireside events. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. Also, our perks, priority access to pre-owned flutes and programs. There have been programs that I can't launch to the public because members fill the seats before I can even launch it to the public. So that's that priority access that is so beneficial. Exclusive discounts on one coaching and products. We oftentimes, before we launch a flute or we've got a new bag or something that we're doing, we give a little discount to our members and offer that to them first. Quarterly flute giveaways, $100 annual credit. The $100 annual credit and the gift box that you're going to get more than pays for the membership itself for a whole year. Not to mention that access to the feedback and flourish sessions and the private community. Why choose Horizons? Again, I'm not sure where else you can go to find all of this in one place, especially from your living room or your kitchen or your music studio, wherever you're tuning in from. And it's incredible value from the moment that you join. We have put so much content, we put so much work and effort into this already over the last couple of years, a few years almost, that there's over $6,200 worth of value and over 200 learning materials when you join. It's already there. And every month we are adding to it. Like I mentioned, things are pre-recorded, not pre-recorded, recorded for you. And then they're offered in the membership. So if you can't attend or you attended but you want to replay that thing, you have access to it. And again, you're going to get to lock in that for less than $1 a day. You can really have everything that I've talked about here today to help you learn and grow and be in community with your flute. So again, you get that 40% off. You get to lock it in for as long as you're a member in good standing. So we've done surveys of our students over the years. And this year we did a survey and we asked some really deep questions. 95% of our members feel that their Horizons Plus membership has positively contributed to their progress. 89% of students surveyed, they feel the quality of content is outstanding with little to no room for improvement. 99% of members feel the variety of content on Horizons Plus is good or even perfect. I want to pause here for a moment. Because of this feedback that I'm asking students, hey, how do you feel about this? What would you like to see on the platform? Who would you like to see on the platform? I'm listening. I'm listening and I'm acting on that. The things that you see today, the Flute Circles weren't an original thing. The Q&As were, but we've refined over time. We've evolved over time because of you. And so if you have something that you're like, this would be really cool to offer, I want to hear it. I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you any way that I can be supportive of you in your flute journey. That's important to me. 92% of members find the value of Horizons to be exceptional. We care a lot about the quality of this content and also what is a fair value for you. What is an exceptional value for you? Because we have overhead and we have things that we have to, bring in our instructors and things like that. So we really want to create a great and amazing opportunity for you to learn and grow as a flute player. Join us if you're on the fence and you have any questions about anything that I've talked about, that I've shared. I realize this has probably gone a little longer than what I would have hoped, and maybe you too, but I really want to express to you how much Horizons Plus means to the students who we have there, how much it means to me. And again, someone asked me one time, it's like, Johnny, why are you doing all this? It's because I'm creating what I wish I would have had access to as a younger flute player, as a younger self. I wish I had access to all these resources. But here's the thing. I've gone out, climbed the mountain, come back down, and I'm helping you up that mountain. That's why I do this, because I want you to be able to be as successful as you want to in your flute journey. So if you have any questions, visit us at horizonsfluteschool.com. There's a link below that you can access that 40% off annual rate. But what we're really about is empowering flute players with the tools, support, and encouragement they need to succeed. I really want to thank you for joining me in this. I hope that I have explained and expressed how much this membership means to me and others, and how much it can benefit you as a learning and growing flute player. But if I missed something, if there's a gap somewhere and you still have a question, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. Our team is happy to help. If there's anything we can do to help you along your flute journey, just let me know. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Take care.